Welcome to Roll for Crit. Today we are talking about the virtual reality version of Catan, aptly titled Catan VR, which has just been released on Oculus and Gear VR devices. This is the digital version of Catan in virtual reality, simulated environment. You need the special Gear VR or Oculus Rift to play it. So if you don't have those, don't worry about it. Otherwise, it's basically the same gameplay as the board game Catan. If you're not familiar with that game, I don't know what to tell you. Probably go out and look some things up. We have videos on our own channel about it. But essentially, it's a settling, building, resource gathering game for up to 4 players.
Yes, we got to preview it actually in a beta build, I guess you'd call it, earlier last year. This is the full release. It is in video game form, so this, instead of just having to require people, you can use AI, which is one of the big things. Each AI is actually supposed to have its own personality, which is cool, and has a portrait, so you can tell all the AIs apart. You can go random or choose which ones you want, and I always did 4. It didn't occur to me to try with less people, but...
You can play with only 3. Catan officially needs at least 3.
3?
Okay. And I can say that as someone who tried to play with 2 players once, and I know why you can't. But yeah, it's something you can also do mix and match, so you can play online with friends, and you can fill in an extra AI if you only have 2 other people, and you want a 4th. Or you could just go online and search for random people. Let's start with just the way the game looks and feels. I mean, you're in this little house, sort of building of some kind. There's a big pretty window. There's artwork.
Yeah, one of the things they try to do is, since Catan, a lot of people are going to tell you it's one of the more the gateway games. So early on, they really focus on making sure the visuals shined here. And they do. There actually are 2 different building settings. We only saw one when we did the beta, but this actually lets you switch that and multiple sets of artwork, including one that had a penny arcade panel.
Yeah, we're not sure why. I'm fairly certain they have more planned for those environments too. So hopefully in the future you'll have a lot more options involved. Right now it's just back and forth, back and forth.
Really cool, and it has these a nice table you're sitting at with this. Both of them have this huge window open up with this beautiful view.
Yeah, and then the board itself, you see a table, there's the Catan board, but it's sort of alive. There's little sheep moving around on it. There's birds flying around.
The mountains have like clouds, I think, a little floating around.
Yeah, everything's animated to an extent.
If you do decide to get it, look for the hopping sheep.
Yeah, look for that hopping sheep. There's some fun stuff to look at there, and like you said, the portraits of the AI are kind of, we've compared them to Harry Potter, how it's like, they're not 3D people, but it has its own kind of cute, unique aesthetic there.
They'll smile if they get points, trade, whatnot.
And it is built in mind with touch controls, so you're pointing and clicking at menus, which is nice, especially in a game like Catan when it comes to things like the trading aspect of it, where sometimes in digital games it can be a little cumbersome to like, now you are literally just pushing the cards you want and push the cards you want to give up and down, and you submit that, which is cool.
And because it's also a video game, they have some really nice things to help you to see things that you probably wouldn't see in a regular board game. You can see the longest road. There's a nice big statue that says you can look on your own or other players to see how many points they have, what's their longest road value, other things like that, which makes it very helpful for comparing those things and see if you can actually beat someone in one of those categories.
Yeah, as well as like little reminders of how much it takes to build certain things and what have you. So all that is there. I mean, it's like a super functional, pleasant experience. If you want to play Catan in virtual reality, they pretty much cover all the bases, at least as far as the basics are concerned. There's no expansions as of yet, so you know, if you're tired of Catan, then you're not going to be real juiced up by this. And the online there's no like pass and play. You have to, if you want to play with friends, you got to know someone with a VR headset, which is a little rare these days. And the online play so far, I tried a little bit to get into one, but the matchmaking is not very in depth, and there are very few people, it seems, that are playing online right now, with strangers at least. So that's one thing I would say to keep in mind, is this is something that you either have friends with VR headsets or you really like playing against AI, because right now, there may be improvements in the future, but as of this sort of launch window, the online isn't super stellar. But other than that, it has a lot of cool features. You can change your input. I believe different controllers are supported as well. Basic stuff like that. There's little tutorials and reference guides for you if you don't know how to play.
The one thing, unless you found it recently, but I know we couldn't find, was that with the AI personalities, they didn't really tell you which personality what they do. which I would like to see, especially since these are personalities supposed to be like actually connected to like the backstory of Catan stuff, and actually they went to the creator for like to make sure everything worked out and stuff. So it would have been nice if there was something that maybe like this one's more likely to trade. That way you can sort of make your game to how you want it if you are going to be focusing more on the AI side.
Yeah, there is no difficulty settings for the AI either. So it is really just you're just kind of going random and saying, oh, that guy looks fun, I'll play against him. Yeah, it'd be nice if they had something a little more tayloring to that in that regard.
We used to play on PS3, was it?
The PS3 version.
And Magellan always used to be very difficult for us.
Yeah, you played with famous historical explorers. In this game, I don't think they have names. They're just portraits.
No, they have names.
They do have names.
Yes.
I missed their name titles then.
But like I'm pretty sure they're part of Catan, not like based on real people.
Okay. Yeah, but again, it works pretty well. One other thing that I kind of found that I kind of wish there was when playing with AI. I wish there was maybe voice acting or at least some kind of musical cue or something to indicate that it's this person's turn or this person wants to trade right now. Because sometimes I found that without human voices around me,
you're just sitting there, then you realize.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of like, wait, whose turn is it? Who's trading? Sometimes it's a little unclear.
That would be nice maybe if each portrait had some sort of tune in the back.
Even if it was just like, I'm trading, like a cheesy something. Because, it's VR, so you can do directional audio and that kind of stuff. But it's Catan. It's Catan in VR. It's pretty. What more can you say? Now our crits and misses for Catan VR. For crits, the presentation, including the environments, the graphics, the characters, and the music, are all very pleasant, aesthetically pleasing, and nice to spend some time in, virtually.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a VR game, you definitely want to make sure your visuals are on point, and I think they did pull that very well here.
The game makes it easy for you to keep track of the little things that you need to know while playing, points that other players have, cards that you have available, etc.
And now for our misses. Because this is a VR game, there aren't a lot of people who will have it yet, so it's a little hard to find other people to play with, whether it's your own friends or people online.
When you're searching for people online, it doesn't give you, there aren't exactly lobbies or any kind of really helpful matchmaking system with rooms you can find. It just says searching for players, and it may never find those players. So I wish there was a little more helping you out there.
On the other hand, the single player has some things to be desired. It is sometimes hard to tell whose turn it is because there aren't any cues to trigger that, whether it's a voice line or a simple sound effect. In addition, the AI personalities, you can't really tell which is which, so you can't tailor the game if you want to try to make it a much more aggressive game or maybe a more game with more people who trade. So that's one thing we'd like to see. Definitely could be cool to have achievements, especially if online area grows, to have maybe special avatars or masks.
Any kind of unlockable system or something that you can achieve while playing by yourself. If you are someone who just loves playing Catan, or you have friends with VR headsets, this is a great buy. I wish there was more to do, though, as a solo person with a VR headset. But beyond that, it is a great foundation for Catan, and I think a good example of what virtual reality board games could and should be like, how they should play in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, if they, just for me alone, I think if they got some of the expansions, especially the ones that would obviously be more visually different, like, I mean, they just came out the Game of Thrones one, for example, it just occurred to me now. And the room alone, changing that, because I know in VR I love the make your own room, so the idea that they've made a room just for that board game,
yeah,
it sets a bar for me for other board games, because I'm like, if I'm playing a VR version of something like
Space Alert.
Space Alert, you want to see a space station around you and stuff. And
yeah.
So it does set a bar, I think, for the VR game area.
Yeah, so that's available right now. It's $15, so if you got that money and you got that headset, check it out. Till next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will.
This has been a Roll for Crit digital review. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave your comments down below. Before it's too late!